Rafa, you got to run, dude. I don't.
Why?
Because that's...
Like, why?
Because that's how you play sports.
So
you try.
Walk me through what happened.
Okay.
He hit it over the fence and he just walked around the bases?
No, he didn't hit it over the fence.
He hit a ground rule double and he, sashayed to second?
Not hit a ground rule double.
He hit a hot smash to first and didn't run it out?
No. He basically hit a quail hunter out to left field.
Duck snort?
Yeah, duck snort's a better one. We'll pop up down the left field line. Left fielder's running in. Third baseman's running out. Who's going to make the play? Nobody.
Harbaugh was playing third?
Exactly. Who's catching this pop-up? Nobody.
And Rafi busted his hump and got a double. A little cheapy double, right?
Made it to first. Just in time.
On time. Wait, was there a throw?
No, it wasn't a throw.
Okay.
I mean, it was down the left field line. It was out there. That would have been ridiculous.
Really quick, before you go any further into this, a couple of injury updates from the Giants. We were talking last week about how Matt Chapman was headed to Philly to see a specialist and get a second opinion on his core muscle. That second opinion has confirmed the need for surgery. So he's going to have surgery tomorrow. His season is officially over.
How come no one ever tries for a third opinion?
For Matt Chapman and Daniel Susac, who fouled the ball off his knee this weekend.
Not the sack.
Yeah, the sack
he had
down.
an MRI earlier today. It showed a fracture in his left knee patella.
Damn.
He's meeting with doctors this evening to determine his prognosis, but a fractured left knee patella.
I heard that he was limping heavily in the clubhouse after the game, but they were hoping it was just a bruise. Well, I did not want to hear the word fracture.
The patella, as you know, is the kneecap. That's the patella. And
yes, as I know.
Well, as you well know. And when you have the Moses Moody injury, which was the ruptured patella tendon, that goes from the kneecap down to the lower leg. This is not the tendon, but if you fracture your kneecap, ouch. That really hurts.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a guy who relies on being in the squat. So
Dibs.
It's shut the sack down.
The sack is down.
Shut the sack down. Let the sack heal. Let the sack.
All right. I mean, I like it too, but it doesn't have to be every sentence.
Shut the sack down.
Yeah, he's down. Sack is down.
Yeah. Drooping.
No.
Too far. Whatever, Grandy. Go ahead and dump it if you want.
Even Pasta almost.
Not Pasta.
Don't talk about that.
Pasta did a big
Even Pasta?
lean to the left on that one.
Yeah.
It made him, he was uncomfortable.
Been a good run.
Take it easy.
Career over.
Totally. Career over. He's fired.
He didn't have a career.
That works.
Yeah,
30 years, you're right. No career.
I just
raised two different families.
Yeah, so whatever. Because, just bring whoever in, and we'll get a look at them too. Basabe is interesting over there at second base. I think a lot of us are looking forward to seeing Marcelo Meyer. That's expected within the next, couple weeks. Something like that would check him out. There might be some other diamonds in the rough.
There was also an update on Marcelo Meyer. He has that ulna bone stress reaction from his time with Boston. He reported to the Papago complex to continue his baseball ramp up. He will be there for the next few days.
Okay.
And then the expectation is after that, he'll probably do a rehab assignment with Sacramento.
In Vegas. And I think they're there for 6 days, which I don't know if it's a 6-game trip to Vegas, but that's a long time to be in Vegas.
That's too long for Vegas.
Too long.
Yeah. Vegas is a
60 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say. Just going to say it's a 2 to 3 day experience. Get in, get out, and get on. Unless you want to try to do it different, as I apparently have been bringing up too much. Lovely Christy was making fun of me for it over the weekend. I am someone who has been to Scotland and didn't golf. If you want to go to...
Whoa.
Yeah, that's not what we were doing out there. It was like a driving tour. We were on a tour. You can't just be like, I'm leaving the tour because I saw St. Andrews. And I didn't...
Right.
I just... Right.
And you were with family, I'm sure, and so...
Yeah. No,
sure.
but yeah.
Okay, whatever. But yeah.
I was with a girl. But anyway...
Yeah.
So...
yeah.
You can go to Vegas and stay if you don't want to gamble. Then you're fine. You stay as long as you want. Do 6 days. If all you're going to do is play baseball, then stay 6 days.
Right. Or you can, shop and the food is great and all the rest of it.
Yeah, but if you're going to drink and gamble, you got to get out of there.
2.5 days.
Yeah,
exactly.
Get out of there.
I think that's about the number. And, the people who actually live there, I guess if you have restraint or if you're not like a big gambler or a big drinker, I'm sure it's fine.
I think they don't. I actually have family who lives there now, other family members who used to live there, and I don't even think that they think about the Strip. They don't even think about it. You know what I mean? How often do you go to the Golden Gate Bridge lookout point?
Not often.
Do you know
That's
what I'm saying?
Kind of a fair point.
Yeah, that's just not, it's not what, there's certain things in every locale that's what tourists do. We don't go do that. You just don't even think about it.
Well, if people come in from out of town, you do. Like, let's go to Alcatraz. You're coming into town, I'll get tickets.
And so maybe you end up at MGM if your friends come to visit.
Right.
But outside of that, it just doesn't even, it's weird. I know you think, how can that not occur to you? How can that not pull you in? It just doesn't.
Right.
You just don't do it.
Every year we go to Vegas, one of my friend Eric, rest in peace, his buddy lives there, and so he would always come out for one night and join us, and it'd be like a 4 to 6 hour run, and he would go on a run.
Yep.
But after that 6 hours, he would jump in a cab and go back home. And
Go to bed. Yeah.
Right. I'm not doing this again with you fools until next March.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a good point.
Anyway, run, Rafi. And here's the thing. This is not a new subject. The idea of the highly paid veteran and hustle. I mean, Machado famously, he'll look you straight in the eye and be like, I'm not running. What are you, nuts? I'm not running. You can fit this conversation in with load management or even what the Niners are doing with Bosa, McCaffrey, and Mike Evans. It's all precautionary. Mike Evans hasn't practiced in a week and a half. Apparently, it's all precautionary. He's been running full speed on the side, but they just don't think it's a smart bet, if you will, to go full speed when you, quote unquote, don't have to go full speed. But there's something a little different about this kind of a thing. And especially with Rafi and other players like him, it's mainly pop-ups. You hit a ground ball to second base. To a degree, I get it. You know what I mean? Like that ball's going to get there pretty quickly. And you give a few steps, and then if it looks like there's a bobble, you take off and you go. The pop-up, the guy just assumes that catch is going to be made. And I don't know, where's the Rafi didn't run counter? Pasta, where are we at? We're at least 5 times this year. I swear to the baseball world.
It's got to be 4 or 5.
It's got to be. It's like, dude. And some of them, it's not, you should have been at second. Some of them, he's out. Like, you're out at first base on something that got completely fumbled. And I just think there's no worse look in baseball than that. And in a weird way, it's worse for the highly paid guy. Because we're giving you $30 million and you can't run?
Right. I think it's worse for the manager. So, it's a reflection on the manager, and not that he's going to, barge out there and, yank him off of first base and pinch run for him and embarrass him. But at some point, there's got to be something that you do to, express the feeling that this is not okay, because you mentioned it 5 times and Pasta said 4 or 5 times, and you're a veteran. You understand that when you hit the ball into the field of play, sometimes things can happen. And if you are busting your hump, you might be able to grab second base on a cheapy double, or you might, at least get to first and draw a throw or whatnot. That to me, and again, this is not me indicting Tony Vitello, but it's another example of a rookie manager who does not have the command, or maybe he's not ready to have the command of the clubhouse to where this is not going to happen anymore.
I mean, the only way you do that, you would sit a guy down. And I don't even know, from Tony's perspective, everything is a cost-benefit analysis. And so you're like, okay, I could sit him down in the middle of a season where we're 20 games under 500. And is that going to piss him off? Probably. Does he need to be pissed off? Probably. But in the grand scheme of things, and I'm not saying it's one way or the other, I'm just saying what the process is like. You have to figure out, is it worth pissing him off? at this point? And are you willing to kind of take the bullets that come with that? And even if you did that, I have no idea if that means Rafi would start running. But it's almost like you can put yourself in Devers' head and do the whole, like, okay, it's a 1-0 baseball game. It's a 1-0 game. You got to get over to second base, get yourself in scoring position. The other way you could respond to this is, who cares? It's not like winning this baseball game has got, like, okay, oh, the Giants lost. Oh, no. What's on the line? Nothing.
Well,
but
the math is there.
Yeah, but I just, even if the math wasn't there, you know, these people all paid to watch, and I think it's your job to do your level best. It's as simple gets when it comes to sports. And so whether or not there's an excuse is up to each and every one of you to decide, but there's no way around this. It's a terrible, terrible look. It's just an awful, awful look. And he's done it now 4 or 5 times this year.
Right.
And those are just the times where he gets caught. In other words, he gets caught. I mean, he's not run 4 or 5 times. He's not run like hundreds of times. But 4 or 5 times, it has had an effect on whether or not he gets to first or second base. And that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. And it is one symptom of the larger thing that I want to say. I cannot. I'm racking my brain. I can't remember a season that felt worse than this in my whole damn life. I can't remember. I can't remember being this apathetic the first week of August.
Right.
In my whole life.
I think about 1985, and I only remember how bad they were when I go back and look at the numbers. I don't remember feeling the way I feel about this year, which, yeah, you just mentioned it. Like, Rafael Devers not running out the ball, and Adames is out there, you know, glad-handing and apparently not working on his craft before the game, but now he is because, you know, the reaction came back, and your third baseman's barking at Casey Schmidt to catch the bleeping ball, and then now he's hurt, and you've got Jung-Hoo Lee the other day out in right field. He turns one way, he turns the other way, and he falls down, and you lose the game. And it's not to single out any person, but they've been sloppy. It should be pitching and defense, but it's not. You had to get rid of your catcher because he was not a very good hitter, but a good defensive player. The whole thing has been kind of a calamity, and you probably won't lose 100 games like you did in 85, but, I mean, you're allowed to, right? They're now 20 below.
They're 20 below.
Yeah.
And they're not putting people out there as much as, you know what I mean? Chapman is gone for the year. The sack is down. Casey Schmidt is out for the year. Elliot Ramos doesn't play here anymore. This is by definition a worse baseball team than the one that compiled this record.
Right. I mean, you have a bunch of new guys and you know, a bunch of call-ups, and you traded away your number 2 pitcher, and you traded away a couple of bullpen arms. And so it's really patchwork, but at the same time, you're probably not that interested in even winning games.
Well, look, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and H21 San Francisco and Odyssey Sports Station, and the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries, always live on the free Odyssey app, coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios. Sure, I don't think that's like, and they would argue this, but is that priority one, like the record that you end up with? No, not necessarily. There's a little bit of a lottery system now in the baseball draft, and the Giants cannot win it this year because they were part of winning it last year. So, I don't know, factor that into the entire equation if you want. But I just think that there are so many things. You detailed a lot of the weird stuff and the stuff that's gone wrong. For me, the hard part this year is sort of how many things are happening that are just such poor messages to the fans. It's one thing to play poorly. Okay. But if you're out there, likability ratings are through the roof, you come home with a dirty uniform every night, and man, you're putting it on the line for your fans, and you're coming up short. Okay, that sucks. We can deal with that. That's one thing. But the San Francisco Giants this year, it is, to me, overwhelming for the fan to work their way through all of the things that are being thrown at us. And if it is, your star player won't come out of the game when he's asked. Your star player won't run when he's asked.
When he's asked.
Yeah, you have a starting pitcher who, wherever you landed on this, was the centerpiece of a National Pride Night controversy. A number of weeks later, he's mean-mugging the manager who wants to take him out when he's walked 3 straight hitters and does not have much cachet in this league because you just got here last year. Who are you? What are you doing, dude? Who do you think you are? Competitor? Great. I get that. But where is the decorum of being a teammate? Where is the decorum of listening to your leaders? Where is the decorum of understanding what your fan base is hoping you do in terms of how you conduct yourself on the field? That's what many, I won't say this whole team because there's a lot of dudes out there that bust it. And I love watching them play. But there are too many of them who I don't know what their goal is or what their motivation is or what's going on in their head during a game where they seem to feel like something is owed to them, that it doesn't feel to us like it's owed to them.
Right. Nothing's owed to anybody when you are 49 and 69. You are 49 and 69. You're 20 below 500.
Yeah, then get off the mound when the manager asks you to get off the mound.
When you walk 3 straight guys, then you get off the mound. And that's, to me, the bigger issue is about Tony Vitello. And I think that he was put in an impossible spot. And if you've got a pitcher, Landon Roop, who's barely been here for 2 years, if 2 years, right, in totality, and you're going to treat the manager like that, that tells me that Tony Vitello has yet to establish himself and get the respect that he needs to get in the clubhouse. And the other part of it is Rafael Devers, where you're the highest paid player on the team, maybe in franchise history. I'd have to look at the math to see if that's actually the case, but you're the vet, you're the dude, you're playing first base, you're in there every day. You should be the number one guy saying, hey, Landon, we're not doing that to Tony Vitello. He's new. We're going to help him along with whatever he needs help with. But I don't think that there's anybody in that clubhouse, and I don't know about Logan Webb if he has the ability as a pitcher, but it doesn't feel to me like anybody has stepped forward and said, look, this is our guy, and we're having a bad year. He's having a bad year, but we're not going to do these things that we're doing to Tony Vitello. Yeah, no one's doing that.
But who was it? Was it O'Dowd that said to us, Rafael Devers can hit, but he can't lead? I mean, that's as clear as day.
Right.
So what you just asked me, he's not going to do that. And if you're the Giants, you knew that when you acquired him. So to me, that you have to swallow. You have to eat that because you knew that. But I don't know about popping up balls down the left field line that kind of off the bat looked like it's possible that could fall in. That's a really hard play, and you walk. You walk to first base.
Right.
Like that, I don't need you to set everybody else straight. I think the Giants need you to set yourself straight.
Fair.
And then we'll let some other people be the guys who set everybody else straight. Logan, sure, Adames, Chapman. We can find others, I'm sure, if we look hard. But I don't know, man. There's too many people on this team and too many situations that have come up where guys either look entitled or they're questioning leadership. Man, if I'm Buster Posey, this would really piss me off.
For sure.
I mean, knowing the kind of player he was, how he handled a clubhouse, and then it's his fingerprints all over this manager. You know, I don't know that what you're saying, everyone's sort of throwing that out there. It feels like this team doesn't respect Tony. Well, look, if there are examples of that all over the place, and you're seeing that, and you're Buster Posey, maybe you should be the one to come in there and huck something off of a wall.
Yeah.
This is my manager. This is your manager. And this is what we're doing. Period. And I'll share this with you. I think there's been a lot more of that behind the scenes than we realized this year.
With Buster Posey?
It's not working. No, right. I'm just saying, even with Tony. You know how Guru, flip the spread. I think the spread's been flipped.
Right.
And it didn't do anything.
And that's where
it didn't work.
This is where I go back to Buster Posey. So you're going to go out and trade for Rafael Devers. You did that, and we all praised it because, man, what a great hitter he is. And he's a very good hitter. But then you get to the end of the year, and you give Bob Melvin his walking papers, and you think, who can I bring in to manage this team, knowing that you already had Willie Adames, you have Chapman, you've got Logan, you've got Rafi, you've got Jung-Hoo, all the people that you have, and you go out and you tab a never been in the pros before manager to come in and manage Rafael Devers. And like you said, you probably knew going in that he's not a leader. He's a hitter, and he's Rafael Devers, and he's elite, but he's not going to be a guy who's going to, Hunter Pence it, right, and bring everyone together like the Reverend. So you're going to throw a brand new manager who's never been in pro ball with Adames, Chapman, and Devers, and Robbie Ray, and Logan Webb, and Jung-Hoo Lee. That felt to me like Buster's biggest mistake. Not that Tony Vitello isn't a good baseball guy, and everyone who's talked to him says, yeah, he's going to figure it out and he'll be better, but you threw him into a situation that was not going to be something that could work.
Well, I just look at the timeline and how much of this Giants season has ended up about things other than baseball. And the poor marketing department, they're putting out fires constantly. This started in spring training. Tony calls everybody over and wants to scream about Tennessee, and everyone's like, "Ooh, this doesn't." And now we're figuring that out. Willie Adames just yesterday and today basically invited some Giants reporters to watch his pregame workout, and I think there's probably some truth to Willie's and the Giants' side on this, which is that a quote from Ron Washington, at minimum, got a little bit misconstrued by, was it Randazzo, the broadcaster for Apple? And the way he passed it along made it sound like Willie's a big fat loaf, which is not that's not true. Are there some issues there? Sure. And Willie, it's an article by Susan Slusser that's out today, and it's a good one. Willie will stare you right in the face and tell you, from an offensive and defensive standpoint this year, he feels like it's his worst year of his career. He feels he's played awful. He goes, you want to rip my defense? You want to rip my offense? Rip my offense and rip my defense. Do not rip my effort. But we're constantly, so they're putting that fire out. And that comes in the same season where multiple people have forgotten how many outs there are, he being one of them. Pride night, Rafi at first in Tampa, won't come out of the game. Tony Vitello has spent more time in the dugout trying to tell people that what they're seeing is not actually what they're seeing, rather than just talking baseball. And what's our strategy to try to win tonight? Is all these PR fires they keep having to put out. And I don't know. Some of that is just poor luck, and some of that is, it has to be a leadership issue on some level.